Ahoy! Captain Benzie here, coming at you with another patch note analysis video. As usual, this video will be fairly light on any forms of graphics or other entertaining features. As such, it is designed for you just to put on in the background with a cup of tea and a biscuit, listen to my thoughts on the changes. It's not something that's necessarily meant to be watched, more just listened to. That said, if you do enjoy these videos, as usual, please hit like on them, as this lets me know what you're enjoying and what I should continue making. If you haven't already, subscribe and ring that little bell for notifications if you want to see more Command & Conquer Rivals content. I know things have been a little bit slow recently. I have explained in other videos why that is, and things should be picking up again now, as life is returning to normalcy for me. And if you do really enjoy my stuff, first of all, I do have a Patreon, so you can come and support me there. Or you can come and join us on the Gaming Galleon Discord. I'll put the link on screen now. Come join us, chat about Command & Conquer Rivals, Armajet, and about 1,000,000,001 other games. So, okay, today is going to be the usual thing. I'm just going to jump straight into those patch notes. If you disagree with anything, or you think I've missed something vital in any of these notes, please do let me know in the comments below. If you're running any of these units and you just want to tell me how you find the patch notes, I'd be really interested to hear. I love it when you guys start talking to me in the comments, and you know I will always try to do my best back. Again, join me in the comments section or on the Discord. Anyway, let's jump right into those patch notes. And so to kick off the balance notes, we'll start with GDI and the Drone Swarm. Damage to infantry has increased to 42, up from 30. Squad size has gone up to 5. Health has been significantly decreased to 200, and vision has increased to 3. It really does seem like Redwood cannot quite figure out what they want the GDI Drone Swarm to be. The fact that the vision has gone up makes it an opener. Definitely, that's what they're looking for with that. Damage to infantry, that increase there is huge. That's an increase of 12 per drone over 4 drones, plus a 5th drone being added with an extra 42 damage. That's a huge amount of damage. Those things are going to do quite a bit to infantry now. The squad size increase means they take a little bit longer to die to things like pit bulls, but will still die very quickly with that health nerf to things like laser squads. I don't know. I really don't know. To me, that looks quite exciting for the Drone Swarm, but at the same token, Drone Swarm's problem has never, as an opener, has never been its damage or its vision or anything like that. The Drone Swarm's problem as an opener is that, especially now at 20 cost, you're spending 20 plus 50, 70. You then have to wait a while you go from your 30 remaining Tiberium up to the 60 to pull out a Harvester. You then have, and your entire force you now have available is readily countered by things like pit bulls, talons, even attack bikes. You know, it's the fact that you've spent a lot of money, you stymie your economy early on, and you still have nothing to deal with those. So, I don't know. Maybe that'll replace replace talons with drone swarms for anti-infantry duty in air decks. We'll see. I know I'm going on about this one a lot because that's a really weird buff, and I wish I could work out what Redwood are trying to do with drone swarms, but I'm not entirely convinced that they know. Anyway, moving on. The Disruptor. Damage to infantry increased to 68, up from 50. That's a significant buff. That just means that they will actually melt all infantry. Riflemen and militants will die super quick, but even things like Chem Warriors will die very, very quickly. Jackson's buff duration decreased from 10 to 8. Makes sense. Jackson is a little bit overtuned. That buff has no downside, and an easy way to tone it down is just to reduce its longevity. MG Squad's damage to infantry and vehicles has gone down from 30 to 26. It's not a huge drop. I don't think that's going to take MGs out of circulation. Certainly I will still be using them in my air deck. It does make snipers that little bit more exciting as an infantry option, but I will be personally sticking with my MGs just because I love them. MLRS cost decreased from 70 to 80. Good. The MLRS, with its recent nerfs and the fact that there's been a big shift into air meta, means that the MLRS just really, really has been suffering. Reducing its cost means that losing it to things like Mohawks or Banshees, it doesn't hurt quite so much. And it also brings it back into par with Predators and Scorpions, now costing 70 as well. Mohawk, damage to harvesters reduced significantly by 101. Health decreased by increased by 150. Increased by 150. Yo! Okay. So again, we see another trend of damage to harvesters being reduced. It looks like opening with a unit that can just nerf, nuke harvesters into the ground is something Redwood doesn't want. Harvester harass, yes. Harvester destroy, not so much. That makes tech inadvertently that little bit more accessible every time that kind of happens. Mohawk, why the health increase? They're already fairly oppressive if you know how to use them. That makes them horrific against pit bulls. Especially since it looks like pit bulls, slight tune down, have had a nerf as well. Health reduce. Yeah, 95 health reduced for the pit bull. Okay, they probably need it as the pit bull as it stands is a very, as they say here, it's a meta-defining unit. You run a GDI deck without pit bulls. It's either a very specialist deck or you're missing something. Especially when you have two pit bulls together, they are devastating. They still will be good. I mean, with a health nerf like that, it's a big health nerf. But it just means that things like the Mohawks will actually, kill them cost effectively now. Predator tanks, damage to infantry. We've been talking about this a lot. That's something that we were surprised wasn't in the previous nerfs, just because it's so obvious. Predator tanks aren't supposed to kill infantry, but if you have two Predators, they will. Two Predators stacked on top of each other will nuke most infantry surprisingly quickly. That just means that laser squads and missile squads, JJTs, new grenadiers, that kind of thing, will just be that little bit more damaging to tanks in that they'll survive a little bit longer. Rhino, giving the Rhino a bit of love. I can hear Alicia Destiny cheering in the background somewhere right now. Attack cooldown decreased to 0.75 from 0.85. It's minor, but that does mean that they are going to be firing that little bit faster. So the damage of a Rhino is still not huge, but they're going to be doing it faster. Good, it's a buff. It's a minor buff, nothing else changes, but it's a buff. Snipers, damage to infantry up by 2. Again, it's a training issue there. That's nothing to write home about. Let's have a look at Nod. Artillery! Yay! More artillery buffs. I am the happiest little Benzie. So the artillery will now set up faster. 4 down from 5. Fantastic. Turn speed. Rather than being a 90% reduction, it's now a 50% reduction. Sweet. The artillery, if you weren't careful, your artillery could start targeting something moving fast enough and just sit there spinning on the spot, never actually firing. That's nice. HP increased as well, makes it that little bit more survivable just against those things that do happen to get close. Fantastic. Anything that makes the artillery more viable, I am a very happy Benzie with. Avatar, damage to infantry reduced by 15, harvesters by 40, structures by 100, and the death explosion damage increased by 200. Like, forgive me, who cares? The death explosion wasn't a huge thing about the Avatar. Those are quite significant nerfs. It was too easy to kill harvesters while contesting missile platform against ground units. This should tune that down as well as allowing infantry a little bit more time to fight back. It's an Avatar. It costs 230 Tiberium. You don't want them to be able to fight back at that point. If your opponent has got a 230 Tiberium advantage on you and can pull out a mammoth tank, you have screwed up early. I don't know. That to me seems like people crying about, oh, I'm losing to avatars. Well, no, you're just losing. You're just losing. If they're pulling out enough avatars like that, it's because you're just losing. I don't disagree with the harvester reduction, because yes, the point was you pulled an avatar out, you marched it across the battlefield, you melted a harvester, that usually gave you enough to build the next one. But come on, people, it's an avatar. Build Talons, build Mohawks, build bombers, build anything that is a flyer. Heck, just build GDI drone swarms. They might kill them now. Buggies, giving the buggy a bit of love. Same as the Rhino, it's the attack speed has been increased that little bit, just to keep it in line with each other. That's fine. I do really like the Nod buggy. I know a lot of people look at them and go, why would I use Nod buggies when I've got things like Cyber Wheels or the Chem buggy? I like the buggy. Cyber Wheels, bit strong, and again, the crowd goes wild. This change should tune them down while keeping them viable. Attack speed decreased to 1.5 from 1.25. That's very minor. It actually means that the Cyber Wheels don't kill units as quickly. That's probably a good thing. It slows down their time to kill that little bit. Which means against things like Grenadiers, they might take a little bit longer. Laser squads, missile squads will probably deal with Cyber Wheels that little bit easier now. 2 Cyber Wheel squads should still win against the Laser squad or missile squad, however. Yeah, I don't think that's going to kill the Cyber Wheels. I think that probably is just going to make them, tune them down. Giga Cannons, more upfront damage and fix a training issue, very minor health increase. Damage to vehicles at startup increased by 5. Stage 2 damage to vehicles increased by 10. That's quite big. That's surprisingly big, actually. I've not seen Giga Cannons in quite a while, and that's probably why. This is probably to address that. I don't know. I think Giga Cannons can be fairly oppressive if used correctly. I think they dropped out of the meta because air became quite a thing. Does that address a need for them? Who knows? I look forward to seeing if you're running Giga Cannons. If you're running Giga Cannons, let me know after this how you find them. That's intrigued me. Oksana, a bit too strong, yes. Buff duration decreased from 8 to 8 from 10. Same as Jackson. This does minorly annoy me because it's like Redwood are saying that Oksana and Jackson are on equal footing. They're not. Jackson is significantly better than Oksana. The buff may not be as big, but there's no downside. Jackson turns soft counters into hard counters. Oksana just makes things go twice as fast. I mean, like, if Oksana's unit would normally lose, it will lose twice as quickly. If it would normally win, it will win twice as quickly. It doesn't change the outcome, it just gets you to that outcome faster. Jackson's buff changes the outcome. Units that normally would not win, now win. I don't know, I like Oksana's buff. Jackson needs a rework, in my opinion. Scorpion tanks, minor health, minor damage to infantry reduction, same as with Predators. I'd like to see that be a bigger reduction. I genuinely would like to see that be a bigger reduction because, quite frankly, if you're sending Predators to kill infantry, you're doing it wrong. Stealth tanks, again, damage to aircraft and vehicles increased by 10. It's a minor increase, but it's nice. Anything to help stealth tanks out. They're saying that it's a training issue thing, but to me that just gives them that little bit extra punch, which I'm always happy with. Meaning stealth tanks will kill things they are supposed to kill. And there we have it. Those are my thoughts on what this new patch means, what the changes will mean for the meta and for the individual units. Join me in the comment section below. As I said, I would love to hear your thoughts and know what you think of these changes or how you're finding the new units. Come join us on the Discord as well for that little bit of extra chat. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I will be back with more content soon. Happy sailing and see you on the battlefield.